Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Do you know what? I am amazing. I am very excited. I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed Heather's. Um,
Oh, thank you.
no worries. I've been unlucky. I've not been able to go down to the West End and see it at the other palace, but I, my favorite thing apart from the show was the amount of times you get to see the audience throughout this performance and just how much it means to them. So many people dressed up, and it is it just makes it that much more special that how important this musical is. So congratulations
I
on
I
that.
I so appreciate you saying that. That was a big part of our thought process was, you can do these stage captures so many different ways, and a lot of times people choose to kind of cut off the audience and sort of just cameras on the stage. And we felt with our fan base, especially in the UK, since 2018, we feel I always tell every time we have a new cast member, I said the audience is the fifth Beatle. Like they are what makes it, it's not just a show, it's an event. And they come dressed up, and we call our fans the corn nuts because they are a part of our world. And we've gotten to know so many of them over the years. They're friends now. We know their personal stories. And I didn't want to film something that people would not get to experience what it's like if you go to the other palace. That is what happens when you go. The people are dressed and the crowd is rowdy, and it's a rock concert.
It was so much fun. I am familiar, obviously, with the soundtrack, and I think TikTok has played a big part in this show's
It has.
success. I frequently see the show, fans of the show, and obviously some of the cast as well. How big a part do you think that social media has played in, especially the West End's run? How big has that
I
played a
I
role?
think it I think it's as big as anything. It's that when we came here for our initial reading in 2017, Kevin, Larry, and I did not know if anyone in London or UK knew Heathers. We didn't know, like, do you know the movie? Do you know? And our New York album was out, but we didn't know anybody knew the songs. And then we did this reading, and we were sold out. Like we sold out overnight. By the time we did the first production in 2018 with Carrie Hope Fletcher, we understood that the social media aspect, people were talking online about the show. People were talking, there was an engagement happening that enabled you to not just see a show, thanks, good time, go on with your day. You kept engaging in it. And you could, and every day we'd find more people sending us photos or stuff that they had built and created. And we loved that. And then online, like TikTok, once all of a sudden we saw from celebrities to grandmothers to little kids doing these TikTok dances to our songs. And it just was, it went viral so quickly. And it's always that notion of you can't make something go viral. You can't create something and be like, I put all my Frankenstein elements in, and now here you go viral. And that doesn't happen. But the fans took it, and I feel very beholden to our fans. I feel when we do a show, if the audience applauds and laughs, then I've done my job and our cast has done their job.
Obviously, back to the audience, how excited were you when you found out that obviously Heather's would be getting a recorded sort of edition? What was that process like at the start? Was it always something you wanted to do from the
I
start? And
we've been so thankful for everything Bill Kenwright's provided for us in the UK and Paul Taylor Mills. And then our partners at Village Roadshow said, hey, how would you feel about a stage capture? And Kevin, Larry, and I didn't even blink. We were like, yes. And then Roku got involved. And I think our biggest concern was wanting to do the stage capture the way you saw it, to be able to, you know, if when we present it back to everyone and say, okay, but we want to show the audience, and we want to be in the theater, and we want it to not feel sterile. We want it to feel like you're active, and we want to hear them the way they naturally respond. And once nobody said no to that, we're like, we're in, I'll sign that.
I did some research on the internet, and obviously you were, I believe, a development exec on the first Hocus Pocus.
I was.
I've got to ask, obviously the second film releases at the end of the month. How excited are you?
I am so beyond excited, because I was a development exec. I was working with Bette Midler at All Girl Productions. And so when Hocus Pocus came out, I mean, it became such a cult hit over the years. I'm so proud. I got to work with Bette on a movie called Parental Guidance with Billy Crystal. So then I got to, I worked with her, and then I got to direct her. So now that the movie is coming out, directed by the wonderful Annie Fletcher, and I will be the first person just leaning forward, ready to watch the Sanderson sisters.
Obviously you mentioned Parental Guidance, and I couldn't do this interview and not mention it. That film is a very, very sentimental film. I had many summer vacations spent with my grandparents, and it is a swan song for me. Just I have so many fantastic memories with them, and that film is just, I think it's a perfect film. I've seen it quite a few times. It's great. So yeah. So thank you for that.
I so appreciate it. It was based on an original idea that had happened to Billy Crystal as a grandparent. And putting it all full circle, when we opened off Broadway in New York, on opening night, there was Billy Crystal there to come support Heather. And it was such a wonderful treat to go full circle like that.
Obviously Heathers is the first West End for a while. I think it is the first West End production to have a shoot for a while. Is there any show on the West End right now that you'd like to see get a recorded edition?
Well, I would probably any show on the West End, I would jump up and down and be like, I would like, and a lot of it is the cast, because I love the you know, I'd love to see Wicked, I'd love to see Frozen, I'd love to see Moulin Rouge. Like what I have fallen in love with my adopted home in London is that the level of performers is so spectacular, and they bring something to each and every performance. Nothing sort of half-assed, not that they do on Broadway and stuff, but there are definitely shows that can run for a long time and everybody feels like maybe they're clocking in. And on the West End, I find everybody does a great job. And so many people in Heathers have gone on to shows on the West End that makes me exceptionally happy.
There's one final question, bit of a silly one, but I couldn't speak to you and not ask it. I've got to ask, what did you think of the CW's Riverdale's Heathers special in 2019?
Well, first of all, it's always an honor when somebody wants to come and take your music, and they did it. I mean, they licensed it. They did it all the right way. You know, it was the first time that Heathers had been done in a medium that we weren't involved in. And so a lot of it was sitting back and watching through somebody else's eyes. And I had not, up to that point, I had not been privy. I hadn't been watching a lot of Riverdale. So after that, I kind of had to go back and start being like, wait, I think I'll understand this more if I watch this. Because when I was watching, I was like, I think there's a cult. I think this is happening. And so I realized I probably didn't watch it with the right concept, but then I went back and educated myself, and I was able to enjoy it on a whole other level once I knew what was happening. I should have watched it more going into it.
It is a bizarre show. I did zone out a few years ago, but it's quite something else.
Yeah.
What's next for you? Obviously, with Heathers, is there a film you're working on? Is there another
I,
musical, perhaps?
both. I'm developing in the UK. I'm developing a musical based on the movie 13 going on 30. And very excited. The original screenwriter, Josh and Kathy, are writing the book, and Zachary and Wiener, the team behind First Date, are writing the music and lyrics, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And then I just finished a movie that's a romantic dramedy based on a book called One True Loves, that stars Simu Liu and Philippa Sue and Luke Bracey, and hopefully that will come out. I'm finishing editing now, and hopefully that will come out early next year.
Perfect. Um, Brilliant. That was fantastic. Thank you very much. I just want to reiterate, I really enjoyed this show.
Thanks for watching, and thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thank you.